Thank you guys for being here for part 3 of this brain humming series. Where today we're going to do the full body sequence. We're going to put all the sounds we learned together in one sequence. We'll do each of them individually and kind of take our time working our way through it. We'll see how it goes. It's not going to take the full hour. The full body sequence typically is about 15 to 20 minutes. That's where I figured, since we're already in such a state of relaxation, already touching those chakra, those energy points, that we can finish off this wonderful series with a little bit of a sound bath. Has anybody here ever attended a sound bath before? Okay, we got one. So these are crystal singing bowls. I'll explain them a little bit more once we get to that part of the presentation. But it'll be another 15, 20 minutes of deep breathing, just relaxation, things like that to kind of cap things off. To start off, what I really invite everybody to do, because we're kind of just going to go into the brain humming sequence, because the sound bath, we want it to be at least 15 to 30 minutes. So we really want to make sure we get there. I don't want to run out of time. So what I'd like us all to do to start with is, for the next few moments here, we covered a lot of other coping skills along the way, right? We did some wrist rolls, right, to get our arms and brains woke up. We did the stand, tap, and sway, right, to get woke up as well. We did body scans, right? We did grounding exercises, right? I invite you guys to work through some of those, whatever you want, to deep breathing, just to try to settle yourself a little bit, right? To leave the doom and gloom of the world out there for a moment. One of the best parts of these workshops is it provides a 60-minute distraction from all that out there, right? So let's take a moment to kind of set ourselves and get going. And then once you hear the sound of the wonderful gong, we'll go ahead and get into the brain humming. And at that time, before we get started, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask them. And that's kind of what's nice about this period of reflection. Maybe you don't have a question right now, but if you stop and think a little bit, maybe you'll get to it.
The box breathing, does it all have to be the same numbers?
Not
because
necessarily.
The last one seems to be hard.
Yes, and the last one is one of the most poignant, it can be the most impactful to hold that exhale. So what I tell people is, give it your best shot, right? The whole point of box breathing is to just slow down the breathing, right? To really focus on that slow exhale. So you don't have to necessarily pay so much attention to the numbers if you're making sure you're really holding it on both ends and slowing that exhale. I think the numbers just give people that framework.
It's not the exhale, that would be the third step. The fourth step
Yeah.
is the hold afterwards. That's the one
Yes.
that
And again, if
it's
you,
like I could get like 2 instead of the 4, 4, 4.
And if that's
get
the
to
best-
2 and it's like,
and if that's the best you get, hey, it's the best you get, right? And what I wonder is, if you keep doing it, if you couldn't extend that, right? If you keep trying, keep working at it, could you get to 3? Could you get to 4? Right? Maybe not. Maybe your lungs just aren't built that way, right?
it's that last hold. It's
Uh-huh.
not the exhale. It's like everything's good. You get to the last, it's like 1, 2. It's like I want to inhale real fast.
So that's why it's a good practice, right? So let's take a moment, let's just sit and reflect. I'm going to do the same, because as I remind you guys, I think every session, I hate public speaking. This is very, very nerve-wracking for me. I have not played my singing bowls in front of anybody, other than one client. And yeah, you walked in when I was messing around a little bit earlier. I played them for YouTube, YouTube recordings and things like that, but this will be the biggest live audience, so
Right.
I'm going to center myself as well. center. Let's get on to this full body sequence. So remember, the first session we did the first 3 sounds. Last week we did the last 4 sounds. So today we're going to do all 7 together. What's funny about where you start at the top or the bottom is the person I learned this from is Jim Donovan from Rusted Root, currently the Sun King Warriors. And when I first learned it from him, he went from the top there. Okay? I went to a training of his a few weeks ago, and he went from the bottom up. And I was like, why'd you switch it? He was like, just where I'm at with it now. And I was like, so there's no difference? He's like, not really. It's just whatever you prefer. Right? And for some people, it's better to visualize pushing the bad energy and the stress all down and out. Right? Other people like to envision it up and out. Right? Eventually, I think I'm going to try to do it so that we go one way and then back up the other way. But that would be a lot in terms of like a beginner's course, you know what I mean? Maybe I could market that as the advanced course or something, right? Right? So today we're going to do it the way I first learned it, right? Is from the top down. The reason I like to start with the top, which is why we started with that with the first session, is I think it's the easiest one to feel the vibrations for. As you go down through the body, they can be harder to notice. So try to sell you on it, right? To sell you what you're thinking and feeling. I think it'd be very important. So if you remember, the first sound we did was eem, and that was when if you wanted to, you could hold the top of the head like this. This is the sound that can be good for headaches, migraines, when you're having those kinds of pains. It doesn't necessarily get rid of anything like that. I wouldn't say it's a cure-all, but it definitely can lessen, especially with a migraine, it can definitely lessen things, especially if that's the reason you have the headache, right? Because it'll loosen up the brain tissue and things like that. So like before, we're going to try to do these 3 to 5 times, depending on how well I can keep count. I think I've been doing pretty good so far. We'll see if I can keep up the streak. Where is water already? Okay, nervous here. I was at the bus stop this morning, my kid looked at me and was like, "You don't look good, Dad." Thanks. Thanks, kid. He said, "I can tell you're nervous." "Oh, you're helping." So the first sound is going to go ahead and be eem. So that's E-E-M. Big breath in. Breath in. Again. Breath in. Last one for this sound. Breath in. Alright, let's just breathe normally for a moment. I forgot to mention it before we started. Please make sure all cell phones are on do not disturb. I think we had somebody.
Chime.
It happens at the worst times, right? All right, so the next one is going to be aim, A-I-M. And this is going to be our forehead, right? So if you want to do the hand positions, you fold the head in here. And remember, at the end of today, I have a handout for everybody that has all the sounds, the energy points, and then the hand positions. So we're going to go do aim, A-I-M, for 3 to 5 times. Breath in. I think I forgot to say it too. Don't worry about matching my tone, my pitch. We just want to work on those vibrations. Sometimes, especially as you transition, it can be a little wonky at times. Let's just keep getting after it. Big breath in. Breath in. Breath in. All right, last one for this sound. Normally for a moment. All right, we're almost to the halfway point. So this next one is, if you remember from the first session, is I'm. This would be I-Y-M. Again, we're going to do it 3 to 5 times. Don't hurt yourselves. Do what you can. All right, big breath in. This one is our throat chakra. The hands are here in case I forgot that part. Breath in. Breath in. Last one for this sound.
think that's harder than mine too.
It's possible.
Like you trying to send energy, oh.
Mindfulness has been shown to reduce pain. That's really what we're doing here.
Blood flow.
Right? Because mindfulness is not what you do, it's how you do
This doesn't
something.
seem to work for me. This works.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my brain is probably different.
Well, and that's where sometimes, again, practicing playing with it, right? It might be a certain pitch, a certain this, a certain that. And if you play with it, you alter things to fit your needs and suit your body. You might notice, hey, this does a little bit more versus this or that, right?
It seems like some sounds are easier to do than
Yes.
others.
Yes, and that's where I like teaching the whole body sequence, and that's why I'm going to make sure you all get that handout. And I encourage you, pick which ones you like, which ones you think work best. A lot of times I'm crunched for time, so I try to pick a lower chakra and then a higher chakra. So hitting both sides of the body in one sequence, because you can combine like the EAI there. You can put that all in one if you can or if you want to. Right? You don't have to necessarily separate them all out, but depending on what time you have, right? Because sometimes in a moment we need a quick fix. Sometimes we have a little bit more. So now we're going to move into, we're going to start down into the torso. These will be the 4 sounds that we did last week, if you guys remember. The first one is going to be AHM, and that's our heart chakra, right? So your hand position is just your hand over your chart, or we could do a butterfly hug. And if you're doing a butterfly hug too, don't feel free to give it a little tappy tap, right? Because again, that's activating both sides of that brain. Anytime you do something that activates both sides of your brain, it can really help calm you down or regulate your body system. In fact, a butterfly hug alone, just this, can be really, really helpful. So we're going to go ahead and do this 3 to 5 times if you haven't figured that out yet. AHN. Breath in. Pretty sure I forgot to mention, these lower chakras are when you can start having to put your chin, your chest, to try to help send some of those vibrations down. Especially as we get lower in the torso, it can be really important to work on that volume. Some of these lower chakras, you definitely need to put some more volume to it to try to get some of that vibration going. And sometimes if you can't quite feel the vibration, you kind of have to know that it's still going through your body, just maybe not as much as you'd like it to. So let's keep going with AHM, ah. Breath in. Breath in. Breath in. Last one for this sound. Breath in. Alright, I'm starting to feel very relaxed despite still being very nervous. It's a very interesting situation going on in my body right now. The next one is our solar plexus. That'll be in the middle of our torso here. This is OHM for O. We'll do this 3 to 5 times. Breath in. O. these lower chakras, you might need to put that chin to your chest and increase some of the volume. Breath in. Breath in. Breath in. Last one for this sound. Breath in. Let's stop. We have 2 sounds left. We are almost there. How's everybody doing out there? Good? Good.
Ready to roll. Now it's wrong.
That's right. It's not my thing. Your last 2 sounds here. This next one is going to be O-O-M. So it's going to be this is for our anaerobic belly button. So again, if you're doing the hand position, so just kind of put your hands right there. Let's go ahead and get going. Big breath in. Breath in. Breath in. Breath in. Last one for this sound. Let's just breathe normally for a moment. 6 sounds now. 1 more to go.
What if you made the same sound for each thing?
What do you mean?
Well, say for the head, if you made the same sound, you keep changing the sounds.
Each sound correlates to the different energy points in the body. I think the vibrations kind of go everywhere, but they kind of maximize in some of those locations. So I'm assuming, in theory, if there's certain sounds that work better for you, but maybe don't target the area that you're struggling with, try the sound that does work for you with the hand position of the area that you like, and see if you feel the vibration, see if it helps. In theory, it should channel it. It might not be as impactful as maybe you were using the sound for that energy point, but I have to assume it would still do something, right?
Because I didn't write them down.
Oh, again, that's why I have a handout for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Good,
I just didn't
good.
want to give it ahead of time because I want you guys focused on the humming and breathing and stuff right now. I'll make sure you get that at the end of things.
Good.
Okay? So here's our last sound. This is UHM. This is the hips, the top of the torso. I like, put your hands on top of your thighs, put your hands in your pockets, right? Again, this is the lowest chakra. This is where the volume can really matter. This is where putting the chin to the chest can make a big difference, right? It can be one of the hardest ones to really feel. Again, this is one of the ones you sometimes have to trust that you're sending the vibrations through your body. Because it can be a hard one to really feel this way. So we're going to go ahead, 3 to 5 times, UHM. Big breath in. Breath in. Big breath in. Breath in. Alright, last sound for this sequence and of the entire body sequence. Big breath in. So we did it. We did it. We did the whole body sequence. Really like it. That's where I thought it paired nicely with a sound bath because these 7 bowls coincide with the 7 chakras that we just looked at and worked on. And I will go through all the different sounds. I will start playing with just single harmony notes, and then I can get up into 2 notes and 3 notes, and there's even 4 notes and all kinds of crazy stuff towards the back of here. We probably won't have time to get that far in things today, but it can be a lot of fun. So we have,
Are these considered singing bowls?
yes, these are crystal singing bowls. So we have our root chakra, that's C, that's the lowest chakra. We have E, which is our solar plexus. G, that's our throat chakra. B, for the crown of our head. And of course, I put this in a weird order for some reason. A is for our forehead, our third eye. F is for our heart. And D is for that sacral region, that middle of the torso.
Can you do me a big favor to go in sequence, like, say someone's playing a piano or whatever, is like from A down of those and what they correlate to?
See, I have it in harmony order. Because,
No, I mean just from your list. You don't have to play it, just so I can write it down.
okay, which one do you want me to start with?
Then you go from A
I have
down.
no idea.
Just,
I'm not a musician.
okay.
I am a drummer. I
Uh-huh.
play singing bowls, so like music theory, like to me these are just letters. I know they're notes, but they're
Okay,
just
just
letters.
like the alphabet from like A down.
Okay, so A is the third eye. B is the crown at the top of our head.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Okay.
And then C is the root chakra. D is sacral, that middle of our torso. E is our solar plexus. F is our heart. And then G is the throat. There's lots of different ways to set up the bowls. Since I have absolutely no musical ability, I put them in what they call harmony order. So pretty much if I play these three and these three, it'll sound good. So it's a little easier way for somebody that has no idea what music theory is, no idea how to read or understand notes or anything, can still make some pretty cool sounds. While you're sitting listening, again, access those coping skills. Deep breathe, do box breathing, check in with your senses, do a body scan. Humming might not work here, do the wrist rolls, right? Just kind of sit and feel and just really work to focus on the sound of the bowl, right? Again, if anybody at any time needs to get up, use the bathroom, get a drink of water, feel free. It is 10:38, so I probably will sit here and play until pretty much close to 11. So if anybody has any questions, now would be a good time. And then, of course, as I'm cleaning up, we'll be here to answer any questions afterwards. Any questions before I get going?
Do you have to, some of them for volume, I was at like this demonstration and then they went, whatever that, it wasn't those, it was more like a stick like that. or
Yeah, there's
whatever
all
that
kinds of
they
different
went.
things you can hit. This
And
one
they just-
works, but you can hear it slide, and that bothers me,
Okay.
right? I like these because you don't hear it.
If they wet them and it was a different tone.
I bet. I've never heard of that, but now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go home and wet them and see what happens. Well, look that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get started playing each one kind of individually, and then I'm gonna work into the harmonies. Go ahead and just sit back and relax and enjoy the wonderful, relaxing sounds of the crystal singing bowls.
good and then I go to bed.
Aren't they beautiful?
Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.